Hi guys, my name is Tomcat, and today we're going to be talking about strange mobile games and rumors and whether or not something is connected to something else, and I'm, number one, very curious to dive into it, and number two, some of the things we're going to be talking about here, some of it is related to evidence that other people have found, which I will link off to in the description below, and some of it is my own thoughts and predictions. So I want to know your opinions on all the stuff we discuss in the comments below. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and roll this Horizon 4 gameplay and get into the topic that we're going to discuss today. So what is Forza Street? Well, Forza Street, in a nutshell, is basically a leak, and I'm going to explain what that leak means to you guys. Now, Forza Street was discovered by a GT Planet user under a broken hyperlink. So basically, in one of Forza's Weekend Review articles that they posted, there was a broken hyperlink, and I'm going to go ahead and read what that said to you guys. And it basically said, developed in partnership with UK-based studio Electric Square, Forza Street is built from the ground up to support a wide range of Windows 10, iOS, and Android devices, meaning mobile game. So when you're thinking about it in terms of a mobile game, I know that it's very easy to kind of get up in arms about it and be like, how could this happen? You know, why would Forza turn into this? Why would they even decide to do that? Blah, 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 blah. And I understand where you guys would be coming from on that. I kind of came from that position myself. And also, I have a bit of a theory, and I don't know how it will actually line up or pan out, but I wonder if it could be related to Miami Street, which we saw details on early this past year, last spring. Now, Miami Street, if you've ever seen if you've never seen gameplay of it, it's literally, I mean, imagine clicking through a race. It's basically a quick time event with basically wearing a suit that looks like a racing game. And I'm really hoping that that's not the case, because if they release something with the Forza name on it, and it would be Forza's entry into the mobile space, I would hope that they would put more effort into it than that. Now, it is kind of weird that Miami Street and Forza Street not only seem to share that same kind of name, that not only do they seem to share that same kind of name structure, but they've also, that the name of the studio that was in that hyperlink is actually the studio that worked on Miami Street previously, so things are pointing towards them being related, and whether or not they're related remains to be seen. Whether or not this leak is even true remains to be seen. But I would really hope that if a Forza mobile title ever did come to, like, you know, exist, I would hope that it was more than a click-through type race. I would hope that there was more to it than just, you know, oh, you have to brake, click the mouse. Oh, you have to accelerate now, release the mouse. I mean, that's literally what that Miami Street game plays like, and I would really hope that that's not something that Forza would put its name on. Now, as of when this video is being recorded, we have yet to see what is going to be revealed on the March 8th Forza live stream with Dan Greenwald. Now, whether or not they actually talk about this in that stream obviously remains to be seen. They haven't actually said anything about it. However, I do feel like a mistake like this leading up to a stream like that, I feel like there's no coincidence there, because, you know, you have a whole bunch of different information kind of bouncing around, and when it, you know, when you're getting close to a big, you know, event like that, sometimes little things, I'm sure, can slip through, and I wonder if this was something related to a stream reveal, because it's one of those things where it's like, it's that time of year where all these rumors start to build ahead of, like, E3 time and stuff like that. Now, I don't think this is a game that's going to have any major showing at E3. I mean, I will be insanely surprised if this game has some sort of major showing at E3. I highly doubt it. But I do find it interesting that this would also mark the first time the Forza name has really ever gone outside of Xbox and PC, which is a very big deal, because the Forza name has been very, very, very exclusive to Xbox and PC for a long time. I mean, that's a series that we know for mainly Xbox, but also in recent years PC, and it feels weird to have that Forza name used outside of that, whether it be in Android or iOS or whatever that may be. But it just, again, it feels weird. I won't say it necessarily feels wrong, because I try to be very allowing of these different types of, you know, ventures for games. I mean, will I spend a lot of time with it? I don't know. That remains to be seen. That remains to be seen as to what it is and how it plays. And we've seen that mobile games can actually be quite good. And I know a lot of console people and PC people that don't play mobile games have a real kind of, I wouldn't call it a hatred for mobile games, but I will say that sometimes, you know, people tend to be a little bit of they take on a little bit of an elitist type mentality about mobile games, where they're like, all mobile games are crap, they're all awful, and if something is going to mobile, it's automatically going to be bad. I disagree with that, because I have a lot of mobile games that I actually really, really like. I mean, Off-Road Outlaws, for example, great mobile game. Gigabit Off-Road, for example, another great mobile game. So these games have been able to embrace what you can do on a mobile device and how you can actually use the technology to your advantage. And they've been able to create really, really fun worlds and really fun experiences. I mean, Off-Road Outlaws, for example, it gives users the ability to create their own maps and create their own off-road parks and stuff like that. And I feel like if they were to actually expand into the mobile space with a Forza game, I would hope that there were some creative aspects behind the game. Like, I would hope that the vinyl editor would make it in. I would hope that the customization would make it in. I would hope that it would be more than just, you know, click and hold quick time event style racing. And I also really hope that because it's mobile, please, for the love of God, don't make it just a drag racing game. Please. We've seen that it is possible to make racing games that are more than just drag racing on mobile and make them fun. And so please do not make it just a drag racing game. And I think a lot of you guys, a lot of my guys will stand behind me on that, in saying that we don't want just a pure drag racing game branded as a Forza title, unless it was called something like Forza Drag Racing or something, or like Forza Drag. That wouldn't even make sense, because that's not what Forza is really about. Forza is about encompassing all different types of racing, as they do right now with circuit, drag, drift, open world, and they've managed to do all of these things really, really well. So I think there's definitely hope for this game. But at the same time, when you look back at what the studio in question has previously made, then it starts to look a little bit less optimal, because you're like, oh, I don't want Forza to look like that, you know? And that was one of the reactions I had, was I just didn't want Forza to come out looking like that on any sort of platform. So I'm not bashing it by any means. I'm not trying to, you know, say that it's going to be a bad game no matter what. But what I am saying is that I'm definitely kind of in the stage of this. By the way, I was completely stuck. I tried to drive out of it. It was not happening. But to answer back to what I was saying earlier, I'm not trying to bash on the idea. I'm not trying to hate on the concept. But what I am trying to do is state the fact that I am going to be watching, but not necessarily is it going to be something that I'm going to jump on and say that it's going to be amazing right from the get-go, because I want to see, you know, I want to see the, in figure of speech-wise, I want to see, like, the gears actually mesh for this and actually see what it's like, how it plays, how it works, before I give any opinion on it, whether that's positive or negative. And I think, judging by what we've seen from this studio previously, and I did a little bit of digging to see myself, again, it's very, you know, click and hold and click and release type quick time event, you know, not super engaging type gameplay. I mean, it's something that you would play for probably 10 to 15 minutes, if that. So if it's going to be a Forza game on mobile, it's got to be engaging, it's got to be fun, and it's got to make people want to play the game. I mean, there's a lot of potential here, don't get me wrong. I mean, the potential to import your cars or some of them over from the console game, or at least import some of your designs, or maybe like, oh, you're this level in Horizon 4 or Motorsport 7, then here you go. You get these credits, or you get these cars, or you get these in-game upgrades in Forza Street. So I could see them definitely doing something like that, and I could see it being a really good strategy, and I could see them, you know, incorporating the existing console and PC games into the mobile game, which I think would be a really, really smart move if they decide to go that route. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on what you think Forza Street has the ability to be, and what you think it has the potential to be, and also if you think that this leak will pan out into anything. But without any further ado, I hope you all did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure, again, to let me know what you thought in the comments. Click that like button, subscribe for more if you're new around here, and I will see you guys later.